Well, I guess I just had a passion for film from the first time I ever went to one, because we lived in Paddington until I was about 6, and there was a movie theatre there in Five Ways, now a grocery store, and I used to haunt that place and force my mother to let me go on Saturdays, and I just always adored going to the movies. And then I realised I wanted to make movies, I think before I was 8. Yes, my first movie camera, I got a Bell & Howell camera when I was 9 or 10, I think. It was only about that big. And you put 8mm film into it, which was like threading bootlaces through it. And I made a huge number of films on 8mm. And I don't know where they all are now. I guess they all got thrown away over the years. But I must have done 30 or 40 films over the next 5 or 6 years on 8mm. 8mm is now gone, and people use digital cameras and digital recording, which is a much better technique. Well, I can remember filming It Droppeth as a Gentle Rain, but I can't remember much detail about it. I know it was adapted from a French short story by Jacques Prévert, I think, and I can't remember now why we did it. I thought it was actually pretty terrible when we finished it. I thought the censor probably shouldn't have bothered banning it. It was pretty harmless. There was virtually no budget. I mean, if everyone in those days, if everyone was willing to work for nothing, which they did, we must have got by that stage I had a 16mm Bell & Howell camera. We used that. And I had a couple of lights, and we used them. It started when I read the play of Breaker Morant by Kenneth Ross, a South Australian writer. And I thought it was a wonderful basis for a film. You couldn't really film the play, not in the way I could film something like Don's Party, because the play was actors talk to the audience and that kind of thing. So I really adapted the play and wrote a new script. I worked for some weeks in the Imperial War Museum in London, reading letters from Boer War soldiers that had been kept. And I read a lot of books on the Boer War, and I got in touch with a lot of Boer War lunatics. They're all over the world. People have whole houses dedicated to the Boer War, and they know everything. Every troop movement, every medal, every battle, everything. And I absolutely immersed myself in it, and then came up with a new script. I mean, Breaker Morant made a big impact. I mean, I still get phone calls and emails now from people who say, we've seen Breaker Morant and we'd like you to come and direct a film for us. I think that's pretty amazing on a film that's 30 years old. But it's even more amazing when you think it was a film that never found an audience. It never really made any money. Nobody, in a broad sense, nobody ever went to see it. It was seen by critics and, a few sort of intellectuals, I suppose, and that was about it. It's a fairly tough field, but the main advice I give everyone is don't quit, because it's very easy to get depressed when people tell you your films are no good and you absolutely have no talent. You mustn't listen to that.
Has anyone ever said that?
Oh, constantly. I mean, the number of people who told me to give up, especially when I was very young, it was colossal. But the thing is that by the time you find out you really have no talent, you're established.
And you're experienced.
And you've got getting a lot of work. I've actually judged a couple of short film contests in the last few years, and I'm amazed at the standard. There are really a lot of very gifted young people out there.
And they're not shooting on 8mm.
They're shooting on digital. That's the way to do it.
Thanks, Bruce.